the team. Okay, we've got Keith Bennett here, and this is going to be a super special video swing analysis because we've got Macklemore. And Keith, you've been working with him for a few years now, a couple of years now.
Yeah, a couple of seasons going on, probably like 2.5 seasons. And this summer end of the summer will mark like the third season that we're, talking golf swing and talking golf.
All right, this is going to be really cool because I absolutely love his music, and I know he's just become like obsessed with golf. Like from everything that I see, it looks like his life has become more about golf than it has music almost for the time being.
Totally. Yeah, like today he just sent me a hybrid. He hit on a par 3 like 10 minutes ago, and driver yesterday, and obviously he started up Bogey Boys, his clothing brand, and so he's fully into it. He loves it. He wants to practice. He wants to get out and play. He just wants to get better.
It's amazing. I absolutely love the passion. So let's have a look at this action because you've done some really, really cool stuff with it. I'm just going to grab his swing up right now. Okay, here we go. So there's just been some radical changes here. Let's just expand this out a little bit so we can have a really, really good look at it. But I mean, just the really, really obvious cosmetic one, Keith, is just this club path change on the way down. So what we see, in so many people that are starting out in the game and generally like 18 handicappers, this is just such a classic move, isn't it? Where it's like this cut across, the faces a touch are open, swings a little left sort of thing. And we can just see that like you've made these unbelievable changes on the one on the right where he's obviously got this club just coming in from a totally different direction, right? So just in a really, really sort of cosmetic way, you can clearly see this huge change in club path on the way down, which inevitably is going to massively change his flight. But, that's sort of the result. Like what I'd love to know is what did you do with it to get it to that point sort of thing?
Yeah, I mean, you can see at address too, right? There's a little bit more angle between his right forearm and the shaft of the club at address, and he's just a little bit more over the top of the ball. That early wrist hinge that he's kind of got between the shaft and the forearm helps him get to the top of the backswing, just a little bit longer backswing. So he's going to give himself more time in the downswing to sort the club face out.
Yeah.
But also we've made sure that we tried to keep the grooves of that club face a little bit more square or parallel to his spine halfway back. So when he gets that club face rolling open on the left a little bit, which was his tendency to open the face in the early backswing, then that opening of the face tended to continue to happen later in the top of the backswing. And then when he didn't have enough time to really sort it out on the way down, he ended up just compensating by swinging a little bit left of target line to pull the ball back on line. And, if he squared the face up and hit it flush, he would hit some really, really nice shots. They were just a little left of target.
Yeah.
And now on the one on the right, obviously he's coming in from such a different path change on the way down. His face is way more square. He's just got more time to sort the face out. He's going to hit the center of the face, and that ball's just starting a little bit right and just the smallest little draw on that ball there. So, I've always loved his move through the golf ball, like how he clears his chest and like, look how open he gets out, right there. I've always loved how athletic he was through the ball, but it just was a matter of getting his face to support his already good clearing of the lower and upper body.
Yeah. And I think, as you say, like if you don't swing the club and the body far enough on the way back, and then you've got a pretty aggressive opening move with the body, it's probably going to move those arms out a little bit, isn't it, on the way down and make it hard not to come down a little bit steeply. Whereas the one on the right-hand side, you've lengthened it out. That gives him that little bit more depth with his top half, swings the club a little bit further, and consequently, then when he starts going around a bit harder, he's not going to go out with the arms.
Correct. You can see his arms are a little bit in tighter here, right? Just overall better, forearm wrist structure, club face is in a better spot, and if you just click through, I've always loved that move through impact that he has, like just full, never, he doesn't hold on to any shots. He's not trying to guide anything. It's just gaining him more of an awareness of where his face is at to match up with kind of what he's already done. He's always done this since the first time we've worked together, and I've always loved it. I told him not to change it. We just got to get a little bit more better face angle to support what he already does.
Yeah, it's like what I like calling it's a classic body release, isn't it? Where as he moves his shoulders and hips around, the face really matches the middle of his body, doesn't it? So it's not like a hand release at all. It's very much that shoulder and body release on the way through. which just stabilizes the face so much. Like he's definitely not a hang back flipper on the right hand side like he sort of previously has been. He's just got everything pushing around so well on the way through. And the other thing that I sort of see here is that, and this is something I know that you advocate are a massive advocate of, is setting all this stuff up as well, just becoming really deliberate with your practice and your routines and your alignment. You're massive on that, aren't you?
Absolutely. I mean, in practice, you have to have a baseline, right? If you don't know what your baseline is for your alignment, then it's hard to say if you're moving the path or the face in any direction that you want it to be, right? And there's so many variables in the game of golf that in practice, if you can eliminate a few of those variables like your alignment, then you can kind of get down and say, I am working and making those path and face changes that we've been working on. And then you can actually know from session to session if you're getting better.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, it's just an incredible job. So what's his handicap now? What's he come down to?
He's hovering around like a 10 right now.
Wow.
And he was up probably closer to that 18, 19 figure when we started working. And so it's a holistic thing. Obviously I like talking about swing plenty, but we're always talking about, mentality, short game, putting, decision making, all that sort of stuff. So it's been fun. We've actually played way more golf than we've ever had like one-on-one sessions.
Yeah. And you were also saying before that it's actually pretty much strictly an online relationship as well. If you're not playing with him, you just interact with each other using video analysis and stuff like that.
For sure. Like he'll send me some videos like hitting balls into the net in his backyard, and then he'll send me some videos from on the course. And, just like what I do with any online student, like I've taught him where to position the camera to film his swing so we can have a, pretty legitimate back and forth as far as how his swing is coming along. And because of that, and because of him knowing where to put the camera, he's also learned to look at his swing through the lens that I look through it. So he can kind of say, it's looking a little better here. It could be a little bit better there. And I tend to pretty much agree with it because he's heard me explain it from the same camera angle. And so he's basically picked up the, what I look for and what he should look for.
And that's just one of the huge advantages to the video stuff, isn't it? Is that it becomes your mirror. You have all of these reference points. You know what to look for. So you're always pushing and striving towards something. If you're not looking at it, you're not filming it, not using mirrors, not using any of that stuff. It's basically just guesswork, isn't it? You've got absolutely no idea if you've progressed anything or even what you're trying to move towards.
For sure. And that's why I find like a lot of people, they know to film their swing, but they don't even know what to look for, right? Yeah. Like a lot of people, I take for granted that people know how to even like scrub a video back and forth on like, on the bottom of the, the Photos app. Yeah. So just like simple stuff like that, I found can be super enlightening for people, just that we sometimes as coaches think is second nature and we just take for granted, but like just filming in slow-mo and being able to learn how to scrub a film back and forth is huge for like, because that's what we do. That's what we've always done. So
So, mate, yeah, look, you're just doing absolutely incredible things. And if anyone wants to get in contact with you through Skillest, they obviously can. You just told me before that you're busy until June when you're teaching in person. So the only way to actually interact with you is going to be via Skillest. And then anyone can obviously, catch you on Instagram and everywhere else. What's Mashy, by the way? Tell me about Mashy.
Yeah, thanks for the plug. Yeah, Mashy Brassy is a new clothing brand that my wife and I are starting. So it's golf focused, but it's going to be kind of streetwear shirts, hooded sweatshirts, crew neck sweatshirts, hats, and but golf focused, golf logos, and yeah, hopefully the dream one day is to have some polos and maybe some pants and be fully kitted out. So yeah, it's fun. I'm looking forward to it, and it's called Mashy Brassy.
Awesome. So everyone go and follow them on Instagram and then start buying their stuff. So, Keith, as always, mate, thanks so much for your time.
Baden, I really appreciate it, man. Anytime you want to catch up, I'm down.